Stefanski full of shit. You talk about instilling confidence into your players. How do you think that makes Shedeur feel?
Jalen Ramsey just turned an NFL game into a full-blown reality show. One minute he's locking down receivers, the next he's lighting up Dillon Gabriel like it's open mic night, all while hyping up Shedeur Sanders from the sidelines. Cameras caught everything and now the internet's melting down. What did Gabriel do to trigger that level of chaos mid-game? Let's just say this wasn't your regular Sunday football. This was pure, unfiltered drama on turf.
I'm gonna probably tell my kids about this. I played in the game with TJ Watt and Miles Garrett, and I had 2 sacks. That's crazy, huh? That's crazy. So, yeah, it's my first time in my whole career having 2 sacks in one game. So that's pretty cool. So,
If you're enjoying, please subscribe Shedeur Sanders to the channel. It helps more than you think. Jalen Ramsey didn't just play football that day. He staged a full-blown NFL intervention. Before a single snap, before the Steelers even finished stretching, the man was out there giving what looked like a political rally for Shedeur Sanders. It was less pre-game warm-up and more campaign kickoff.
It's not. Did y'all hear about the Pittsburgh player who, Jalen Ramsey in the game? Something happened. And I don't know if he caught a pick, a sack, or something, because I don't know what he do. He went to the sideline and pointed to Shedeur. You need to be out here. Like, you out here. I was like, whoa. Shout out to Jalen Ramsey. So he was trying to tell you that Shedeur need to be the one in the game. Don't forget, the question is, should Shedeur Sanders start versus Miami? That's the question that I have that I want y'all to answer.
Fans were yelling, cameras were flashing, and there was Ramsey, throwing out that now iconic watch gesture, his way of saying the world's running late, on giving Shedeur his time. It wasn't subtle, it wasn't random, it was calculated, confident, and the kind of statement only Ramsey could deliver with that trademark mix of swagger and zero chill.
And pointed to Shedeur, you need to be out here. Like, you out here. I was like, whoa. Shout out to Jalen Ramsey. So he was trying to tell you that Shedeur need to be the one in the game. Don't forget, the question is, should Shedeur Sanders start versus Miami? That's the question that I have that I want y'all to answer.
And then, as if scripted by Netflix, Ramsey didn't just talk, he performed. The second the game started, he turned into the human version of a plot twist. Dillon Gabriel rolled out of the pocket, probably feeling good for half a second, and then, boom, Ramsey came flying in like a bouncer, escorting him out of his own highlight reel.
Jalen Ramsey, Steelers star defender, actually pointed at QB Shedeur Sanders, who was on the sideline for the Browns after sacking Dillon Gabriel. This is crazy.
Deep drop for Gabriel. Out of the pocket, on the move, caught from behind. Jalen Ramsey.
It was violent, clean, poetic. One sack, then 2, and after that second one, Ramsey stood there like a man delivering a sermon, pointing across the field as if to say, that's who should be in this game. The cameras followed, the crowd gasped, and somewhere, Shedeur Sanders' stock just doubled without him even touching a football. That moment wasn't about one tackle. It was a message, a very public, very loud, and very funny message that Dillon Gabriel was renting space in the role Ramsey believed Shedeur should own. The man practically sacked him into a recruitment ad. Fans could feel it. Even the announcers couldn't ignore it, because you could see it on Ramsey's face. He was playing defense, but advocating offense. He turned the gridiron into a live audition for Shedeur Sanders, and Dillon Gabriel just happened to be the unpaid extra. And sure enough, when the final whistle blew, Ramsey was glowing. The man looked like he'd just solved the league. He joked, laughed, and threw a couple of side jabs that weren't exactly subtle about who didn't measure up. Because for him, this wasn't just a good game, it was validation. The man had a mission and he delivered. In a league where players often dodge drama, Ramsey ran at it full speed with a helmet on. But what made it even better was that this wasn't just some random gesture of support. Ramsey was tapping into something bigger, a growing wave around Shedeur Sanders that's been bubbling under the surface all season.
I know everybody wants to talk about Jalen Ramsey's sack on Dillon Gabriel and him pointing at Shedeur to get in the game after he got his second one, but nobody is talking about him being a Pittsburgh Steeler and what that has done for his career so far, because this is the best I've seen him play since he has been into the league. Mike Tomlin just continues to figure it out. So let's talk about those two plays and what he did before the snap of the ball. Here you're going to see him do a slight bump on the inside as he comes rushing in on the edge. He was running at almost 15 miles an hour when he got that first step.
See, Shedeur isn't just a player anymore. He's a narrative, a conversation. The quiet kid with the famous last name who somehow turned that legacy into a work ethic nobody can ignore. The NFL has a habit of chewing up hype and spitting it out, but Shedeur's different. Everyone who's been near him, from teammates to veterans to rivals, keeps coming back with the same reaction. The guy's for real. And apparently, Ramsey isn't the only one who knows it. Jalen Hurts, cool, collected, the walking definition of discipline, took a break from being an MVP candidate to publicly back Shedeur too. That kind of mentorship doesn't happen often. It's not PR, it's respect. Hurts doesn't hand out compliments for fun, and yet here he was, investing time into a young player from another team. That tells you everything. It means Shedeur isn't just getting fan hype, he's earning peer-level credibility. In a league obsessed with stats and showmanship, Shedeur's managed to impress the one metric that really matters: respect from other players. And Hurts's gesture sealed that image. The veteran recognizing the rising star, the old guard acknowledging the next wave. And that
start versus Miami. That's the question that I have that I want y'all to answer.
And that's what made Ramsey's mid-game antics hit harder. It wasn't just a personal beef or a random show of support. It was the exclamation point on a league-wide feeling that Shedeur Sanders is overdue for his shot. Ramsey just said what others have been too cautious to admit, that Dillon Gabriel's fine, but Shedeur might be something special. And let's be honest, the NFL loves drama, but this was theater. You could practically hear the producers in the control room cheering. Ramsey sacking Gabriel twice while motioning towards Shedeur was pure content gold. It was football as performance art. The moment went viral, of course. Social media turned it into a meme factory. But either way, everyone was talking about the same thing. Shedeur's time is coming. And when that many veterans start chanting your name, metaphorically and literally, it's not hype anymore. It's prophecy. The real kicker, though, is how unbothered Shedeur himself has been through all this. While the internet's busy dissecting every frame of Ramsey's gesture, the kid's just putting his head down and grinding. No interviews, no cryptic tweets, no drama, just work. That's what makes this so satisfying. Everyone around him is making noise, and he's answering with silence that screams louder than any soundbite ever could. It's the kind of composure that separates future stars from short-lived sensations. While the Browns' front office debates spreadsheets, Shedeur's already preparing for games he hasn't even been told he'll start.
I'm just saying, I think he is what he is. He's too small. His deep balls sail, and he does not look. I thought he was athletic. He looks slow. He does not look athletic. There's nothing extra. There's no juice. This will be the offense with Dillon Gabriel. This is what it's gonna be. We have to be at least threat in the defense deep.
This is who Kevin wanted, though. That's the thing. Like, this is Kevin's guy.
Start. There's a strange irony to all of this. The same league that's addicted to narratives suddenly finds itself watching one unfold naturally. No PR, no controversy, just genuine respect building one conversation at a time. Ramsey's theatrics, Hurts' mentorship, Garrett's praise, Judy's frustration. They all form this unplanned chorus chanting the same message: give the kid the ball. It's football's version of destiny trying to speed up the script, while management keeps hitting pause. And that's what makes Cleveland's situation so baffling. The Browns aren't exactly strangers to quarterback drama. It's practically a franchise tradition at this point. But for once, they've got a player everyone agrees on, and somehow they're still hesitating. You'd think they'd learned by now that indecision is their worst play call. The fan base is restless, the locker room's unified, and now even opponents are weighing in. It's like the entire league standing outside their building yelling, "How many endorsements do you need?" Meanwhile, Dillon Gabriel's caught in the worst possible position. Not necessarily bad, just misplaced. He's doing what he can, trying to survive the Ramsey hurricane. But every play he runs just reminds people of the guy waiting behind him. It's not even personal, it's structural. Ramsey didn't just hit Gabriel, he hit the Browns' entire philosophy. He turned every sack into a statement about potential being wasted. That's what makes it brutal. Gabriel's just the collateral damage in someone else's ascension story.
The second one, he had doubles. He gave a slight bump to the receivers to give his linebackers enough time. Had enough time to rush in off the edge to get his second sack at almost 17 miles an hour. But his approach to the game of football since he's been a Pittsburgh Steeler has been unmatched. I mean, you got people like Mike Tomlin and Aaron Rodgers who have raved about him as a teammate thus far. What do you guys think about Jalen Ramsey as a Pittsburgh Steeler, and how has this been different from his time in Jacksonville and his time with the Los Angeles Rams? Because that is where he got his first ring. But I don't know, this seems a lot different.
And let's face it, Ramsey knew exactly what he was doing. He's one of those players who understands that the modern NFL runs on moments, not just stats. One gesture, one viral clip, one symbolic action, that's how you bend narratives. And boy, did he bend this one. The next day, sports shows couldn't stop replaying the clip. Analysts debated whether Ramsey overstepped, whether it was a subtle dig, or whether it was just him being Ramsey. But buried beneath all the noise was the one thing nobody could deny. The league's attention had officially shifted towards Shedeur Sanders. From a broader view, it's fascinating. You've got veteran defenders publicly hyping a young QB from another team. You've got stars from different sides of the ball aligning on the same message. That doesn't happen often. It's like watching the Avengers assemble for a rookie. Hurts talking mentorship, Garrett praising preparation, Ramsey making headlines, all orbiting around one name. It's almost eerie how consistent it's been. Usually players mind their business. But this feels collective. And maybe that's what makes Shedeur's story special. He's managed to turn admiration into expectation without saying a word. Everyone sees the potential, but it's his professionalism that keeps feeding the hype.
Overall, I thought he did a good job of standing in there, taking those hits, and playing decent in this game. But now when you look at some of the negatives on film and the things that he needs to get corrected, he's making some throws that you can't make in these type of situations, especially on the road and especially as a rookie on an offense that's struggling to move the football. The Browns are way too predictable on offense right now when it comes to throwing the football. I don't know if he has a high enough ceiling right now to be a franchise starting quarterback in the NFL that you can build off.
I don't think he did enough to keep his job at all.
There's something undeniably magnetic about a young player who refuses to play the drama game. In a league full of hot takes and sideline tantrums, Shedeur's biggest scandal so far is showing up early to practice. That's not just discipline, that's branding. The kind of branding you can't fake. So now the Browns find themselves at a crossroads that's more psychological than strategic. It's not about who's more talented, it's about who they're willing to believe in. Do they keep running the safe, predictable system? Or do they hand the keys to the kid who's already earned the locker room without even starting? Ramsey's gesture may have been showboating, but it also forced a question the Browns can't dodge anymore. The fans have decided, the players have spoken, and even rival defenses are campaigning for Shedeur's rise. At this point, the only thing missing is the official announcement. And when it happens, because it's starting to feel less like if and more like when, the story will come full circle. Ramsey will probably post some smug victory clip. Hurts will nod like a proud mentor. Garrett will remind everyone that hard work pays off. And Judy will finally stop side-eyeing the coaching staff during team meetings. It'll feel inevitable, like everyone knew this was coming, because they kind of did. Ramsey just lit the match.
What do you want me to really say about Dillon Gabriel over the next 3.5 hours? Well, he was composed. Great. You know how he conducted himself? He conducted himself how a career backup should conduct himself, where you just hope that you're able to hold down the fort until the regular starter comes back. The problem is, we don't have a regular starter that comes back. Well, we do, but nobody wants to see him. So nobody wants that to happen. So here we have to hope that Dillon Gabriel, a guy who is certainly limited, a guy who's smart enough to probably be a coach in the NFL someday, has to go out there and conduct an offense. And we just little bit. And we have to hope that Quinshon Judkins is able to carry us into the end zone, and we don't have a holding call on it. Because we got two guys there who are again replacing another guy, who had replaced another guy who just didn't want to play the game. Didn't want to.
Until then, every Brown snap is going to feel like a countdown. Every incomplete pass will echo that invisible gesture Ramsey threw up before the game. The one saying time's ticking. And it really is. For Gabriel, for the coaches, for the organization. Because when the locker room's loyalty starts shifting toward the backup, the writing's on the wall. Players don't risk public support for someone who hasn't earned it. And Shedeur's earned it. Every film session, every practice rep, every morning showing up before the sun, it's all built up to this moment where the league's starting to notice what his teammates already knew. The Ramsey incident might go down as one of those weird turning points. The kind of moment that looks chaotic in real time, but makes perfect sense in hindsight. Defender mocking an opposing quarterback while praising someone else might sound wild, but in context, it's pure symbolism. Ramsey's not crazy. He's prophetic. He saw what everyone's been ignoring, that the Browns' future might already be sitting on their bench, waiting for a chance. And that's the beauty of it. It's not even about controversy anymore. It's about recognition. When stars like Hurts and Garrett start aligning on the same message, it's no longer a fan fantasy. It's reality knocking. Shedeur doesn't have to lobby for it. His reputation's doing the talking. His peers are doing the marketing. And his performances, whenever he gets the shot, will do the rest. It's almost poetic how his rise mirrors the league's own obsession with storylines. Except this one's unscripted, authentic, and backed by production-level talent.
I think it comes down to the Browns organization. They believe in Dillon Gabriel. It is what it is. Stefanski believes in Dillon Gabriel over Shedeur. It is what it is, guys. You got to just accept it and roll with it. You can say that Shedeur is better than Dillon Gabriel. It doesn't matter. The Browns believe Gabriel is better.
As the season rolls on, all eyes are going to stay locked on Cleveland. Not because of Gabriel's stats or Stefanski's playbook, but because everyone's waiting for the inevitable. And when that moment comes, when Shedeur finally gets under center, and the crowd roars in that mix of excitement and relief, you can bet Ramsey will be somewhere on the sidelines smirking like a man who saw the plot twist before the trailer even dropped. Until then, the Browns are playing a dangerous game with timing, something Ramsey already warned them about with that little pre-game gesture. Time's ticking. The league's watching. The fans are restless. And Shedeur Sanders is waiting. Not with impatience, but with preparation. The kind that makes veterans rally, coaches rethink, and teammates believe. Because if Jalen Ramsey's message was loud, the silence from Shedeur might be even louder. And when that silence finally breaks with the sound of a perfect spiral downfield, nobody will need to say a word. Not Ramsey, not Hurts, not Garrett. The play will speak for itself, and the gesture will finally make sense. The watch wasn't about time passing. It was about time arriving, Shedeur's time.